Tom will not be here today.
Well, hold on, I went and left my glasses over there. Okay. So Debbie, you hold this for me so I can read.
Right? I got mine.
Oh, if I get it far enough away, I'll be able to read it. Okay. I guess by default then, I am the vice chair for the Mosquito Board, so
We're ready.
All right.
Ready.
We'll open the meeting for the August 26th Mosquito Board. Open the meeting with any public comment. Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to the meeting minutes. Can you give us a copy, Jess? I look to see if I have them. No, I don't have them.
What?
Do you have them?
Minutes?
Minutes from last meeting?
This you have them.
What's that?
It's in the packet.
Is it in there?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I do have them.
Okay.
See, I might need them. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for July 15th.
Okay, motions, or I'll second, or is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the minutes from July 15th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, budget report. Right, well, I just don't see anything, any line items that are having trouble with. Everything's looking okay, huh, Jess?
Yeah, but everything's, I put the chemical in the wrong line item for operating expenses versus chemical, but the money was there, so that was my.
All right. Looks like are you gonna purchase chemicals at the end of the year?
Yes, I'll have one more purchase,
Okay.
but that'll be enough to get us through the end of this season and the beginning of next season.
Okay. And how did we do on our old chemical? I know you were trading it for services with our vendor, right?
So that was for weed.
For weed, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. That was for weed.
Yeah.
You're right. I've had too many meetings here lately. Okay, good. Okay, ongoing business.
So I'm expecting to see the season sort of tail off next week and a half with the.
Temperatures dropping.
Yep.
Yay!
Yep. And we're going to see a lot more variable fogging schedule the next couple of weeks as the weather is changing. We're getting gustier, we're getting thunderstorms again, so the fogging schedule will flex a lot more.
Okay.
So we'll start wrapping up here probably middle of September, is my guess. And then in front of you is the trap counts up until last week. Doesn't have this week's traps in there. So, top chunk is the trap that we set on the wildlife management area. The next set is the ones by RY Lumber, and then the sewage lagoons, and then down at the south end on York Island.
Okay. Looks like they're all starting to
Yep.
decrease, aren't they?
So, I think that what, like some of the stuff at York Island is telling us is that we're probably not gonna treat the south end of the county much longer. We're not getting mosquitoes down there. What I think is interesting is the trap count on the July 22nd of that 22,000 on the County Fair Wildlife Management Area.
Yeah.
I think most of those ate me first.
So they larvicided July 9th. They larvicided 2 weeks before that hatch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, did it not work, or?
I don't know. Adam told me that they didn't get larvae in their test pools, but, I mean, you could see between the 1 week where the larvicide worked, or it looks like it worked at 426,
Yeah.
but either they chose a product with no, like, 30-day residual,
Residual?
but it definitely wasn't as effective as it could have been.
Wow.
So, okay, but I'm sure that was
Have
probably.
they been spraying out there?
Not to my knowledge.
I haven't
believe-
seen any.
I don't believe that they do any adulticiding. I think all they do is larviciding.
Wow.
I'm sure that was the source of some of the
Mm-hmm.
complaints that we received.
Yes, and so basically the areas of highest complaint are areas that border the wildlife management area. And that'll always be a struggle. It's always going to be a source.
An RY lumber traps is no more than a half a mile distance from where the Canyon Ferry Wildlife Management trap
Yeah.
is. So it shows the effectiveness of our treatments versus the single larvicide that they do on the wildlife management
Mhm.
area.
So it looks like everything's decreasing except for the wildlife management area.
And that's what I would expect to see.
Yeah.
So, I guess what's our solution? Do we?
I don't know if they brought that back to their control, and it seems like they want to continue
Mhm.
using their contractor and using.
Do you share the results with their?
So I'm going to send the biologist this results again and share with them what we're finding on our trap counts.
Yeah, and I think we need to share what our concern is, because
Yeah.
it's impacting us.
Yeah.
One of the things Jess had brought up that she'd like to do is start putting our route maps and our GPS track, our application method, and our trap counts on the city and county's websites, so that maybe a lot of the concern that's felt and the
Yeah.
constituents that feel like we aren't doing a good enough application can direct that towards the appropriate party, and maybe they can, express some of the concerns to them, to where they're either going to increase their amount of larvicides they do past the single dose, or maybe that'll help shift it back towards our span of control.
So I made maps 2 weeks ago, and I sent them to Jessica Crush, who runs the city website, and to Nicole to try to get posted online. But that was under the old format of the software, and the tech company who manages the Bogger machine software updated our program, so we're able to make new, better maps. But I'm still learning that one now since they changed. Which is nice, because we can stop at pinpoints and see how much product we were putting out, at what time, how fast we were going. So, I mean, I know point to point where she is
Yeah.
at any given time.
It also allows us to address concerns from citizens
Yeah.
more accurately. If they say, they're really bad here, we can give them the exact time, date,
Yeah.
and application rate for their exact physical address.
Okay, we've been using our backpack fogger at all?
I haven't this year. I haven't had any calls from people in the city where we used it last year. And then with just having Jessica and me, it hasn't been as easy. We're trying to get out and do larviciding, but we haven't used the fogger.
Okay.
We got the 2 applicants turn down or reject their offers. That kind of put a hampering in our ability to do some of the extra stuff.
Right.
Because Jessica's been having to fill in with some of the insecticide and the weed spraying and that. I know one person only can rack up so many hours in a week.
So hopefully we'll be in a better position next year. We won't have all of the other things that went along with this year's complications. COVID should be either a fact of life or resolved as far as.
Okay.
Could we use our county commissioners to lean on the wildlife people to try to get it sprayed more often, or anything? Oh, is there a solution that way?
I don't know. I mean, it's. They're a state agency. I don't know where their concerns
I mean,
for us
I'm-
lie.
We're happy to write a letter and express
Mhm.
our concerns. You know, it seems like we get more action out of state agencies when they receive complaints from actual individuals.
And that's
Hmm.
where we're trying to get the information out there on the city and
Mhm.
county's website, so the residents can see exactly where
And
where the issue really is, and they can address that to them, and that's where, so hopefully it'll put the pressure in the right spot, and it'll show that we're doing our part for everything that we can within our span of control.
Right. Is that something that you want to try to, you'd be interested in managing if they brought it back?
If they brought it back, I think we could do a better job overall for the citizens. I mean, that'd give us more right. We could do more fogging, we could do more, larviciding. And then we know, what's happening there. I mean, we could find the hot spots, we could do a little more targeted things.
Mhm.
But I know that we used to manage it, but that was before my time, and I believe that there were conflicts with the contractor. And so I think that if we were to manage it again, we would look at other options, other avenues for
Mhm.
aerial or ground larviciding.
Okay.
And if we look at expanding the district, once we're out of the wildlife management area, there's still a lot of lakeshore. And so that'll be BOR land or BLM land.
Mhm.
And so that'll be, we'll have to talk to them about how we want to manage that anyway.
Okay. Well, that kind of leads us into our next topic on the expansion then. How are we
Yeah.
doing there?
So I made you the map last month. Did you guys have any thoughts on it?
It looked really good.
So
It was well thought out.
I think maybe next year we can start, the formal process and get some landowners buy-in, but I don't think this fall is going to be the time to do it. I'm concerned that the current climate wouldn't benefit us
Right.
right now. I don't think I think we could hurt ourselves more than gain anything.
I guess last time when we had our meeting, I guess the timing just wasn't quite
Yeah.
right. And maybe was it the time of day that maybe possibly people could
Yeah, I think we should do evening.
do something in the
I
evening?
think evening is where The complaint I heard from people was that they can't come in the daytime.
Okay.
And that was, the suggestion for the meeting time was made by my previous supervisor. That was where that time was designed from. And so I think doing a nighttime, event would get better attendance. And then, hit the silos, hit Big Bowl, those kind of social gathering points.
Okay.
But now we have a pretty good idea of where we want to go, boundary-wise. So we can put that map up, say, hey, here's where we are, here's where we want to be, if you're interested in this.
Mhm. So on your map here, you're proposing to go all the way to, is it Lazy HM Estates? Is that right?
Yep. There's actually quite a bit of water up there,
Yep.
and so I think that
I mean, have you had some interest in people?
I had a couple of people just ask about either patrolling on their own up there, or if they were part of the district, because, they hear
Right.
about it as they come in from out of state, or they're a part of a district from out of state.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess if it's something that we decided to move forward with, we'd have to probably do it this early in the spring or whatever, so we can have those discussions and public hearings and.
Yeah. So, I don't know if it falls under the growth policy or any of those things, but
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I think we come back to it early next spring and we'll set up times.
Yeah. I guess we need to time it with the assessment cycle as well.
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have that money or those funds in your budget to.
Yeah, so I mean, it would say we started the process when our assessment's done. Is it done in May?
I don't know, for something like this, when would we have to do that, Mike?
I think you would have to get to send out landowners or letters to all the landowners, I would assume.
Right.
You get it off the tax records, probably off your solid waste would be an easy way to get it too. Because all those people are in the solid waste district.
I can generate that report, but I think what was wondering is how early would we have to do, at what time frame through the year would we have to set that aside so those new assessments would hit in the same fiscal year that would allow Jessica to applicate that summer.
Right.
As if we'd have to have it in February or March, and that's a long time since people have scratched.
Well, I think
the
you have to have it before, like, November is when the taxes will go out, so that's when your assessment will go out. I don't know that you can you add it halfway through the year? Have it go out with the June? You can't do that, can you? I think it has to go out with November.
I think it probably would be, and I'm just guessing, I don't know for sure.
So if
but-
we set up the process next spring for completion in October, and then it could go out in November's thing, and then we would be able to operate the following season.
Following season, yeah.
Have an outdoor gathering during mosquito season, so it really drives home the impact of.
I'll volunteer my land and not spray it for 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I probably will have to spray.
Does that seem real? If we timeline it for, starting next year and completion in October or whenever that has to be done by. I don't know if it's a petition process or if it's a voting process.
Right.
I think that's a more reasonable timetable anyway, so even if we start the discussions early spring, that gives us half a fiscal year to get everything set in place where we're not having until 2021 anyway, or 21, 22
Yeah.
fiscal year.
Right. I'm just thinking, we're in the middle of and hopefully at the end of our budget process right now. That's something that you'd want to have in place have that district established and.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna have it all in place you're gonna wanna have it in place by June, because that's when you're gonna start playing with
Mhm.
budgets.
Yeah,
But I mean, but what I guess I'm saying is that if we're looking at,
Spend all next year getting it ready so that
Mhm.
when 2022 hits, the assessment's already hit.
Right.
It's in the new fiscal year budget starting June of 22, and we'd be good to go. So we'd be basically a year and a half out from this
Mhm.
point. It gives us all the time in the world to have all of our.
and then, you know, as we're working on the 21-22 budget, we could see if there's, you know, we could set it up if the plan passes,
right.
and then we can amend it back to the original district if it doesn't.
Mhm. Okay.
Because, I mean, we can know our operating costs, all that stuff, it would be fixed within the budget. So we could plan out what those costs would be, and then if the district expansion doesn't happen, we just revert to the previous budget that we operate under anyway.
Sure. I guess I would just suggest getting going early on it as soon as you can, so it allows us time to have all those hearings and public discussion, and that way you'll know whether, you know, we can do it or not. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other ongoing business?
I guess this would be under new business.
Okay.
Are you ready?
You guys have anything?
No.
All right, so we'll move on to new business.
Scott Gunning emailed me the other week. He is selling his mosquito equipment. It's a backpack fogger and a backpack larvicider. I don't think we need it, but I thought we could talk about it. You know, asking $1,000 for both pieces, total for both pieces.
Who is this?
Scott Gunning, he had
Oh,
run a mosquito business, and I think he's moving. So he wanted to sell his equipment. I don't think we have a use for it right now, but I thought I'd bring it to you guys.
okay.
Do you have to be certified to do that?
So, yeah, you should have a license through the Department of Ag. They have a mosquito abatement license that they
Mhm.
offer. They don't offer classes, so you have to take the book, just read the book and take the test.
No,
And then,
gotcha.
The Mosquito Control Association and the Montana Mosquito Association offer research trainings, but they don't offer new license stuff. You want to get your license, don't you?
I just want to kill more.
So that's actually the problem, is that if you start killing on your
Mhm.
place, we can't kill on your place. There are limits to how many pounds per acre of product can be over the land at a certain time frame.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Unless
Unless there's West Nile. But we have had no
Oh.
West Nile mosquitoes, no West Nile positives this year.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is great. So I would have expected this to be the year to get West Nile, if we were gonna get it. And it's not even in the states around us right now.
Wow.
So, yeah. One less thing.
I'd say if you don't need the equipment, let's wait.
Yeah.
It's a personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't.
There's no reason for it to sit around.
No.
Because it's not going to get any better.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we have the need for it, so there's no use
Yeah.
spending the money on it, so.
No, that's what I thought.
You don't even have a person to strap it to.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Any other new business? You said you were getting ready to start wrapping up here, Jeff?
Yeah, Jessica volunteered to work some extra evenings to do end of season wrap up.
Okay.
We don't have the day person. So when we're kind of wrapping up our fogging operations, she'll start doing some of the stuff like washing the chemical jugs and, you know, putting away seasonal equipment.
Okay. I know you mentioned you when you think your last trapping date's gonna be.
I'm imagining the week, like the second week in September, the 16th, 17th kind of area.
Okay.
I'll trap probably maybe one more week after that, but I'm expecting if we get that cold this weekend, that we'll see a pretty big die-off.
Okay.
That is my expectation. You've already seen a decline as our evenings have really cooled off. There's been a pretty dramatic decline in some of them.
Must be lucky I'm still giving pints.
Yeah, I know. You're not gonna see a decline until we actually hit that cold snap.
Yeah. The
But
water keeps them warm.
you know, you're feeding the ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did anything happen with the bats? I know that I had put you guys in touch.
That Boy Scout backed out, but I have
Oh.
another one looking, so maybe we will readdress the bat boxes
Mm-hmm.
because they eat a lot.
You do. Kind of surprising.
But now we have the fungus that attacks bats, the white nose
Uh-oh.
fungus that attacks bats is now found in the state. So that's not good.
That is no good. I have quite a few bats on our property. In fact, we had one in the chapel the other day. It was lovely.
I like bats, they're so fun.
Bats in my belfry.
Both literary and figuratively.
We liberated him.
Okay. Any other items of discussion? Anybody on the board? No. No. We good? Anything from the public? No. All right. Well, thanks for attending, everybody. I guess we'll go ahead and adjourn at 4:02.